When winter sets in, most of us rely on a lot of modern help to stay comfortable. We turn on the heating, keep the lights glowing, and cook warm meals without giving it much thought. But for the Amish, winter looks very different. They get through the cold months without gas or electricity, and somehow they manage it with ease. It's not that they live in warmer places or milder climates. Many Amish communities are in areas that get long, freezing winters. Yet their homes stay warm, their food stays preserved, and their daily life continues almost the same way it does in summer. The Amish have built their entire way of living around preparation and practicality. They don't depend on machines or systems that can fail when the power goes out. Instead, they use what's local, what's natural, and what's been proven to work over generations. You'll find firewood stacked high behind almost every home, quilts sewn thick enough to keep out the chill, and shelves lined with canned fruits and vegetables that will last until spring. Their winters are quiet, but not idle. There's work to do: feeding animals, tending the stove, sewing, and keeping everything running smoothly. Families gather around the fire, meals are cooked slowly on wood stoves, and evenings are spent reading or talking under the light of oil lamps. It's simple, steady living. There's something practical about the way they go through the season. It's not about proving anything or rejecting comfort. It's just how life is organized. By relying on their own effort and community support, they stay prepared for the kind of cold that might overwhelm others. And when snowstorms knock out power lines or make roads impossible to drive, the Amish don't have to worry much. Their routines continue as usual, in a world where most of us depend on technology for every small thing. Their way might seem old-fashioned, but when you look closer, you start to see the sense in it. They've created a lifestyle that doesn't fall apart when the weather gets tough. It's calm, dependable, and surprisingly efficient. The kind of quiet resilience that's easy to overlook, but hard not to admire. Wood stoves. If there's one thing that defines an Amish winter, it's the wood stove. You'll find one in almost every home, usually sitting in the kitchen or main living area, glowing softly from early morning until night. It's the center of the household: the heater, the cooker, and sometimes even the dryer. Most families spend part of the summer preparing wood for it. Logs are cut, split, and stacked neatly in rows that dry out in the sun for months. By the time the first frost arrives, they've got enough firewood to last the entire season. It's hard work, but it pays off every single day once the cold sets in. The stove burns constantly in winter. It keeps the main rooms warm while doors to unused areas are kept closed to save heat. Cooking is done right on top: soups, stews, bread, or tea. And it's not unusual to see socks or gloves hanging nearby to dry. It's simple but effective, and it creates a steady, lasting heat that doesn't depend on anything other than effort and fuel. Homemade insulation and smart design. Amish homes are built to handle every kind of weather, especially cold winters. Most are made from solid wood, with thick walls and carefully fitted windows that keep out the wind. The idea is simple: build something once and build it right. When a home is put together with care, it stays warm even without modern heating. Inside, they use small details to make a big difference. Heavy curtains are drawn tight at night to trap warmth. Woven rugs cover the floors, adding both comfort and insulation. Quilts and thick blankets aren't just for sleeping. They're sometimes hung across doorways to keep the heat in smaller living spaces. Every part of the house has a purpose. The kitchen is usually at the center because that's where the wood stove is, and warmth naturally spreads from there. Rooms that aren't needed during the coldest months are closed off to conserve heat. The layout may look simple, but it's thought through with generations of experience. In many ways, Amish homes reflect the same idea as their lifestyle: thoughtful, efficient, and built to last. Instead of relying on machines to fix problems, they design things so the problems don't appear in the first place. The result is a home that stays cozy even when the world outside is covered in snow. Layered clothing and natural warmth. When it comes to keeping warm, the Amish don't depend on heated houses or electric blankets. They rely on good clothing, mostly handmade, often from natural fibers like wool and flannel. It's a simple approach, but it works better than most modern solutions. During winter, every member of the family dresses in layers. A thick undershirt, a wool sweater, and a heavy coat are usually enough, along with gloves, scarves, and hats that are knitted or sewn at home. Women often wear shawls over their dresses, while men use long coats and suspenders that make movement easier while working outdoors. Wool is a favorite material because it holds warmth even when it's damp. Many families keep sheep for wool or buy fabric through their local community. Clothing is repaired, reused, and passed down, so nothing goes to waste. It's not about fashion or trends. It's about staying comfortable through long, freezing days without relying on anything mechanical. Community wood shops and shared labor. Most families work together, and entire communities often help each other get ready for the cold. It's a shared effort that makes things easier and keeps everyone warm. By late summer, you'll see families out cutting and splitting firewood. Men use hand saws or small fuel-powered tools, depending on what's allowed in their district, while children help stack the pieces in neat rows to dry. Sometimes neighbors gather to help an older couple or a family that has fallen behind. Everyone knows that when the cold sets in, no one should be left without enough wood. Wood shops also stay busy during this time. Many Amish men are skilled carpenters, and during winter, they focus on making repairs, building furniture, or crafting tools. These shops don't run on electricity. They use diesel or pneumatic power systems instead. It's work that keeps the community productive even when the fields are frozen. There's a sense of quiet cooperation in all of it. The Amish don't see preparation as a burden. They see it as part of the rhythm of life. Helping one another isn't charity, it's just what you do. When everyone plays a part, the season feels less harsh and a lot more manageable. Heating with coal and kerosene. While wood is the main source of heat, some Amish families use coal or kerosene to help keep things warm. It depends on the rules of their church district, since each community sets its own boundaries for what's acceptable. Coal is often used in stoves that burn longer and hotter than wood, which makes it useful during very cold nights. Kerosene heaters and lamps are another common option. They don't need electricity, just careful handling and a steady supply of fuel. In some homes, an oil lamp is enough to warm a small room while providing light at the same time. These additions aren't about modern comfort. They're about practicality. The Amish know how to make the most of what's available without becoming dependent on it. Everything is used in moderation and maintained carefully to last as long as possible. What stands out is the balance they keep. They don't avoid every tool or resource from the outside world, but they use them on their own terms. Even in the coldest months, their routines remain steady, not because of technology, but because of how they plan and manage their lives around it. Lighting the dark months. When daylight fades early and nights stretch long, Amish homes take on a softer rhythm. Oil lamps and gas lanterns light the rooms, giving off a warm glow that makes everything feel calm and slow. There are no buzzing bulbs or harsh lights, just a steady flame that's easy on the eyes and good for quiet evenings. Children do homework or read by the table. Adults sew, mend, or simply sit together and talk. The flicker of the lamp becomes part of the evening, marking time in an unhurried way. It's not silent. You can hear the creak of floors, the crackle of the stove, or the distant sound of a horse outside. But it's peaceful. The absence of electricity doesn't feel like loss. It feels intentional, like space has been made for connection and rest. In a world that moves constantly, that kind of stillness has its own warmth. The way the Amish get through winter isn't about being tough or rejecting comfort. It's about being prepared, living simply, and staying connected to their families, to their community, and to the rhythm of the world around them. They've built a life that keeps working even when everything else slows down. No switches, no screens, no quick fixes, just steady routines that have proven themselves over generations. Maybe that's the part that stands out most. It's not the lack of electricity that makes their winters remarkable. It's the peace that comes from knowing they already have what they need. In a world where we often chase convenience, they found comfort in something much quieter, self-reliance and calm.